feel pity or remorse or fear, and it absolutely will not stop, ever, until you are dead.
Welcome back, everyone, to another match here tonight with the Overwatch All-Stars Brawl, and it's brought to you once again by Star Esports. If you want to support us, don't forget to hit any buttons that Twitch might give you to support us, but you can also go over to omnicoach.gg because they've been supporting us for a long time, and, can actually get some discounts for yourself. Got that 10% count with the Star Esports promo code. For now, though, gonna get into a match, another one tonight. We just had a great one, and we're gonna have Full Send, which is written with an exclamation mark, against Unchained Truancy. I'm once again Man of Class, and I'm still joined by Shy Guy. How have you enjoyed that? That was a fun match just now.
Absolutely. I mean, you said it before. It was only the second match that has not been a 3-0 in this tournament so far. The other 3-1 that we've had was, of course, Full Send getting sent down into the lower bracket where we find ourselves right now by Aptix Esports. And then going up against tonight, Unchained Truancy, sent down by Citizens, one of the best teams in a team that has been around the All-Star Brawl for a long time.
Yeah, so we can make a very, crude and probably not accurate prediction saying that Full Send has won a map, Unchained Truancy has not yet won a map, meaning that the win ratio for Full Send should be better, and therefore they're going to win. But let's not put it on just numbers. I mean, these teams have both obviously shown that they can at least play Overwatch because they didn't forfeit. But how well they can play it and in what form they're playing it, that's still the question we're going to have to ask ourselves. I'm going into Oasis pretty soon. That's a pretty good map to show us that on.
Yeah, it'll definitely be an interesting place to start us off here tonight. It's a map where, we ended things on Oasis on our last series. Going to start it off on Oasis this time. A lot of opportunity for some DPS picks coming into the lineup, and we'll get to see if either of these teams really want to break it out. I fully expect some Pharah here in the first map of the night.
Yeah, and once again, it's gonna be Oasis. We did see a series not end with Oasis, but it was kind of switched around by Oasis, but that's fine. We did see Sombra goes on that map last time around, but that's not generally what we only see here.
No, certainly not. Especially as you get into like gardens and city center, you really start to open up into a lot of different options, and it really just depends on what teams are comfortable with and what they like to run. You can break out pretty much anything you want on a map like this. And we'll just be seeing what these teams want to go with.
Starting on Gardens, though, is that like the what's that gonna be like usually?
There's a lot of different options you can go with. This is a map that I think lends itself pretty well to running the Sombra 3-2-1 that we saw a lot of in the last series. So it really just kind of depends on how the teams are feeling right now. I saw glancing back through the VODs, because this is the first time I've ever actually gotten to cast either of these teams. Unchained Truancy really runs a lot of unorthodox stuff with the Orisa in their lineup quite often, but equally comfortable flexing over to things kind of resembling what we just saw the Shanghai Dragons in the Stage 3 finals. A lot of those triple DPS ball looks.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're going to run out with. Like you said, we do see a lot of DPS on the other side as well, though, so just going to be seeing who's going to stick on it. Looks like we're going to get a almost, I was going to say we're always going to get a mirror matchup, but it looks like we're going to have a little bit of a change here. IG Nasty is going to be on the Brigitte and Harmony on the Mercy. So DPS versus one more support on IG Nasty's side. But that's technically DPS still, right, Brigitte?
Yeah, not exactly, but this is an interesting look here with the two healers, one of which being a Brigitte. Going to be interesting to see how if they can get enough heals out to sustain in these fights.
Ooh. Koi gets a It's an early kill here on the Storm, so the Trace is going to be out, and Ruben following with Shadow Jr. Looks like this is going to be a pretty quick advantage going over here to the side of Full Send.
No, they're going to get a pretty decisive first fight win. No real opportunity for engagement coming through for Unchained Truancy. They just lose a couple of members here and there scattered throughout the fight, and they never get to go in properly.
Koa 3K first of all is gonna now go in on the sides, tries to duke around a little bit, but might get hacked up here because he's being chased by Sombra. Doesn't quite happen. Economy does get slept here and will go down as a result. Nice done, and Koa 3K gets the pulse bomb as well on IG Nasty. This is gonna be a good hole here so far. Koa 3K gets the 3K this fight, I think. So that's definitely coming in with a name there.
Yeah, and to see someone pop off like this on the Tracer is not something we've gotten to see of a lot of in recent times. Now, I mean, it's on both sides of the field, both teams running it so far, though Full Send getting the better end of that.
Both Impy is going to be online, but so is the Nano from Geo. So the defending team, a little bit of a dealt advantage here. But Ruben's going to go in with that. Hits the Pharmacy with that EMP. Not only the Shadow Jr. Still Kiwi actually managed to stay away from that. Doesn't really matter if Shadow Jr. still goes down. Will the res be able to come in? That's the main question. There is a counter EMP. Still Kiwi really going for the res. The Core 3K is already down. So is Storm. So the Tracers are out of this battle. Vampirio will fall as well. So does Harmony. It's just a back and forth here. Shadow Jr. gets the kill into Ruben. And it looks like this might be the defenders holding on here, but Unchained really trying to get back into it. 19 goes down to the minds of Lukey. Lukey definitely making sure that they can actually hold on to this. Nice pull from on Economy, and will get taken out as a result. Obviously not a one-shot, but still enough damage done to follow it up. They're trying to come back in, and they do really need to win this fight if they want to hold on to the stage, but it doesn't look like they're going to have the numbers and the ultimates to really do so. 90 close to the barrage. Has it now, but will he be able to get it off? Doesn't look like it. Harmony falling. No more Mercy. No more IG Nasty. There is a barrage, but it gets nothing, and it's just going to be cleanup here for the side of Full Send.
Yeah, losing Storm right before that final fight really kicks off is absolutely brutal for Unchained here, and they are slowly getting whittled down, but fighting their way back, or actually getting never mind. They're trying to stick around, couldn't quite do it. Storm and 19 fall in the end, and a pretty easy first sub map there for Full Send.
Yeah, it was just a good start off, right? Like they got that first kill and they just snowballed and kill after kill, ultimate advantage, etc. Like they just had a very strong position the entire round, really. Now we're gonna go over to this open point though, and it's a little bit worse than it was in the previous map.
No, definitely
it's more open.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a little bit harder perhaps for Unchained here. They don't have, in my mind, as much of an option to try to run the Orisa that they had on Gardens. They're going to be going into it with very similar compositions here, with the Wrecking Ball for both sides alongside 3 DPS.
Yeah, and while we have a little bit of a pause, that's fine. It happens sometimes. Connection issues, someone calling you. There's always a reason. That does give us a little bit of time to remind you that there's an MVP poll, so definitely go and vote for a player you think is going to deserve that. It's a little bit early, so I understand if you're not ready, but definitely go and look out if you can see anyone popping out for you. And you know what? We also think you pop off sometimes, because we did get a lovely subscription here from Arc Mana, so thank you very much for that one. Tier 1 sub on Twitch. We appreciate it. Maybe follow the example, maybe don't. At least we appreciate you already. And yeah, we're finally gonna get into the game here.
Yeah, we will be kicking things off, or getting underway here on City Center. The Pharos once again on both sides. 19 and Shadow Jr. going to be picking that up. Koa still going with the Tracer here, and already chiming in, helping get the kill on Ruben.
Counter kills though. Still Kiwi gets the res, but does this die, and Koa 3K as well. So this looks like a very dominant start here for the side of Unchained Truancy. Not a repeat of the last stage. They're gonna take control first, and they're looking good doing so.
Well, they do need to get there to get the capture to come in, but yeah, they will get control first. They get control of the high ground, which is crucial when you're running Storm on this Soldier 76. He is going to be in a very nice position for the meantime, just able to rain in fire from that pretty safe location.
I'm gonna just continue to try and attack, obviously, but there's high ground control, looks really strong. Luki tries to go up there, but misses the slam. Doesn't actually get anyone with that. So IG Nasty just drops down. Boops, he's hacked in the meantime as well. Shadow Jr. just trading out for that. Both fires out of the sky, but the res is gonna come in on 19, not on Shadow Jr. just yet. Core 3K gets to kill IG Nasty, but still Kiwi and Luki going down is gonna be far more harmful. So it looks like it's gonna be held here for a while for Unchained Truancy for now. Yeah, they won't give over that that sneaky cap that was attempted from Vampirio.
Yeah, almost getting it there, but Ruben's EMP comes on the line before Vampiro's. He gets that one out. It's more than enough for the side of Unchained to keep hold of the point for now, but now a big rotation coming in from the attackers, going over to try to contest that bounce, the jump pad.
Jump pad really working out well for them. And Vampirio, huge EMP comes in here and hits a lot of people, but they don't really have the follow-up for that because they don't get to the high ground, and everyone's just falling on the side of a full send here. So while we just saw a very strong point from them, they look a little bit lost on this one.
Certainly, and Storm has kind of been a menace up here on the high ground with the Soldier 76. Even with that EMP coming through, he was getting heals from the Mercy, had his biotic field down on the ground. So hard to kill in that situation, and the focus fire just not quite there from Full Send.
There was already the mines coming out here from Economy, just denying a lot of value. Storm gets 2 with a Tech Visor, counter Tech Visor from Koa 3K, but no one touches the point, so it's all for naught. It's going to be 100-0 here for the side of Unchained Truancy. Going to go into a 1-1, another control map starting off with a 1-1, and we haven't had a 2-0 control map tonight yet. It's the third one.
That's true, actually, and now we are heading to a very different map stylistically in terms of what is usually run here. I say usually because right now neither team really showing us anything we would call normal.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's normal. Normal is always a little bit of a relative and odd term, but in this case, that's definitely something we can say and use. So let's see if they continue that streak. It looks like a Reaper on the side of Storm and 19 on the Doomfist. This is truly odd territory here.
I mean, when's the last time you saw Doomfist versus Doomfist go head-to-head like this?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. It's a little bit of an odd style that might actually be very matched against that. Vampirio already goes down to IG Nasty, though. Nice spotting from the Brigitte. And Shadow Jr. tries to dive in, but just has to get out because he doesn't want to get stunned up and pulled away. Ruben does fall on the Sombra, so both Sombras out of it, but 19 gets the kill on the still Kiwi. So while the numbers are still relatively even because the Sombra is back for the red side here, Harmony follows up on Judah, and both Doomfists down. This is just back and forth, and it's just a frag fest right now. The Reinhardt Zarya doesn't stand up to a Reaper because Storm just walks over Core 3K. But it's Vampirio who gets IG Nasty after that shatter from Luki. Luki gets pulled into the well, though, and that could be that point control going over here once again to Unchained Truancy because they have the point control.
Yeah, they just kind of slowly take ground. Economy pushing forward bit by bit with each shield incrementally, and Storm there all the while to make sure that Full Send can't really push into them, for fear of that Reaper just bursting them down.
Yeah, and Storm, he is already close to that Death Blossoms. We're going to probably throw it out mid-fight here, but that's a huge EMP already coming out. That will just deny Luki and Shadow Jr. anything they want to do with those shields. Koa 3K was slept, probably going to get staggered a little bit, dies as well. And that's going to be another defensive hold. Geo even falling late, so that's a very nice touch.
That is fantastic here for the side of Unchained Truancy. Now they've got firm control, and they are going to be incredibly difficult to evict from the point in the first place. Economy going to be able to stick on there for quite a while, especially with all the ults that they have at their disposal.
And they have a lot of them, and they're going to be able to use a lot of them as well in this next fight. 60% and counting. No ultimates used just yet, but there's the Death Blossom. They wanted to use the Nano Blossom, but he gets stunned out of it. 19 still gets the kill onto both Geo and Shadow Jr., but that was a good counter to that Death Blossom. It just didn't get anything done. It doesn't matter in the end, but still commended for that by stunning that out.
Yeah, I mean, it was a perfect reaction there from Shadow Jr., just not going to be able to save his team in that instant. And now they are in a bit of a desperate spot here, especially as Ruben is approaching yet another EMP. That could end it all here on Oasis.
It could very well do so, but they still need to get it off. There's a nice grab, but the counter EMP, like you said, hits all 6 members. Still Kiwi not able to dodge it, and that's just going to be the end to this map. Still Kiwi gets the sound barrier off, but 2 supports cannot possibly stand up to this complete hold here from Unchained Truancy, and they're starting off strong. I mean, they lost the first point, but after that, it's been non-stop dominance, looks like.
It was a great response from them there, and to do it with a comp that I frankly have never seen anyone play before is really fascinating to watch. You know, I love to see innovation like this, and you know their comp really I think threw Full Sin for a loop.
Might very well have done, and yeah, right now they have to kind of find. I mean, they're gonna obviously have to try and find answers, but on the other hand, are these comps that you're gonna see on other maps as well, or is this really just a Oasis type of thing?
I don't know that you're necessarily going to see, you know, Reaper Doomfist as a DPS combo on most maps. It might situationally be possible, but I think not something you'll see a ton of. But you know, already Unchained Truancy showing that they don't necessarily feel kind of constrained by what we think of as the meta. They are willing to go a bit outside the box, so you can't rule anything out when a team is willing to just kind of forgo what everyone thinks is the best way to play.
Yeah, and obviously since both teams aren't playing like the quote-unquote meta that we see a lot of the time, it's very possible that just means, you know what, if neither team is playing it, you can actually see how those comps work out against each other rather than, well, you know what, against each other rather than just trying to counter what is currently like the dominant style of play. So I think that is a really nice touch as well.
Yeah, it's fantastic to watch two teams kind of feel each other out in this way. See what the other team is bringing to the table, and how do you play around that? Because on University there, Full Sins struggled to play around the Reaper and especially 19 on that Doomfist.
Yeah, 19 doing a lot of work on that one. It wasn't. I mean, it was interesting though that you saw it coming out from both 19, and on the other side you saw it coming out as well, and it just got so much more value for Unchained Truancy. And like, what does really enable a Doomfist to have value?
No, it was kind of finding the right targets, and the fact that Unchained Truancy weren't really running a lot of targets that were easy to pick off for the Doomfist. There weren't a lot of people he could rocket punch in one shot. The Orisa is always kind of standing in the way of the rest of the team, clumped behind the main tank there, and it's really hard to get value when the enemy team is playing in that way. So 19 able to pick off isolated targets, but his team doing a good job of not giving those individual targets on the other side.
I'm gonna go to Dorado now, obviously, because we just had a map. The map was banned, and now the map is picked. So Dorado is gonna be our next one. Do you think we're gonna see more DPS, more the same DPS rather, or is it gonna be a bit different on Dorado?
I can't say I expect the Reaper. It definitely seems harder and harder to run. University is a pretty darn good point for Reaper, just when you consider how close quarters of a map that is. Dorado much more open, so I think that at least becomes a little bit more difficult. But DPS still very, very doable. It's just going to be a little bit different. I think, yeah, it looks like you might see 19 go back over to this Pharah, and I think that makes much more sense. If you want to run DPS, that's the pick here on Dorado.
Yeah, I don't know if I honestly do or do not agree with that. I 100% like Storm's pick on the Widow though. Like Widow has been it's just Dorado and Widow just go hand in hand so much. That's why they end on the same like pronunciation vowel, right? Like Widow, Dorado, like it just works. But yeah, Storm, we haven't seen him on the Widow, of course, so we don't know what he's gonna do with this double sniper and the Pharah. This is means Junker time without the Bastion, really.
Yeah, pretty much. It's 19, playing the Pharah rather than the Bastion you might normally see. Interesting that they are gonna have
pressure.
They are gonna have Harmony on the solo heal, so a lot on his shoulders.
Luki immediately under a lot of pressure from that Pharah, 19 damage boosted. Just they got healed up, but still Kiwi is not so lucky to get out. So actually got taken down. Vampira also taken out of Invis there, so has to try and run. Will he be able to do so? No, 19 still catches him. Storm gets his Geo, so the DPS just already doing so much work, and it's not even the rest of the team doesn't have to do anything. It's just the Widow and the Pharah. They're all they need in order to push forward. And Unchained Truancy, they truly are Unchained right now.
And Fulson having to completely back off here. They get basically nothing out of that fight in terms of ult charge. Grouping up to come back in here though.
Yeah, they're definitely going to try, and they do get IG Nasty already, so this is definitely the possibility to come back in. They get Ruben on the Hanzo, so they are 2 members up. Koak 3K will fall, but 90 gets hacked, so will not be able to fly up that much. Chased down by the Winston and the rest of the defending team, but does actually make it to the health pack together with the Mercy. So now they gotta once again go into this odd position of weird flank fights.
Certainly 19 still looking for the shots into the backline, has that barrage ready to go, looking for an opportunity to dive in deep and pull that one off. Gonna avoid the EMP.
Nice EMP. Gets Harmony though, so it's just gonna be the Pharah on her own. She won't be able to really get healing, so it has to stay a little bit safer. That means the barrage cannot come out. It's gonna be the tanks going down for Unchained Truancy. And Ruben will just get pressure towards spawn. They'll not make it out alive. Storm especially will make it out alive. Just gets smacked to the face by Shadow Jr.'s mace, and gonna be another attack coming out. 2 minutes gone though. While it has been looking really good for Unchained, that's not a lot of time left.
Full Send has responded quite nicely here. Get caught off guard a little bit by the DPS play from Unchained, but have since responded nicely, putting a lot of pressure on the backline now with Luki. He goes in too deep.
Oh, definitely gonna do Storm and Luki both down here though, so it's gonna be a relatively a trade. But there's a res on the attacker side. They also get Koa 3K, so it looks like once again a few DPS picks just make sure they can go on through, and that's gonna be the first point gone. 19 does fall late, so no res for that. Doesn't really need to because the spawns are so close. But Storm is already on the point, gets still Kiwi, and now they're gonna try and set up for the defense. The Storm is just going on a rampage here. It says, you know what? I did okay, on the other heroes, but this is the one I really wanted. Give me Widow all day long.
Certainly, and now he's kind of being unleashed and giving his team a great time here on Dorado, and keeping right now Fulson's really at bay. They've given up quite a bit of movement on this cart for free here after losing point A. Just had to back off so much.
They really have to back off even more and more, and they just get picked off by snipers constantly. Ruben takes down Luki. IG Nasty going very low with the whole hog and the shield, managing to get him out alive. There's another barrage for 19. Actually, might have been the first one coming in. Shadow Jr. falling. Still Kiwi not long for this world, and it's just they just haven't been halted whatsoever, and they really need to get a defense in here. They have the EMP to work with, but they just keep getting the kills.
They're gonna go in with the nano boost onto Luki as well into the graviton.
That's a lot. They might have held on with this, but they might have to use a little bit more than they wanted, because that was a lot. That was so much use. And still Kiwi doesn't even have the sound barrier to go in with that. We already used the last fight, but they win it. They win the fight. 2.5 minutes left, and they're gonna be able to hold on a point that's very far for the attackers to get to.
No, it was a necessary investment there. For the side of Fulson, and now they're putting Koa 3K onto this McCree. They want something to a little bit more directly put some pressure onto 19.
They're going to be able to do so a little bit. I mean, Koa 3K on the McCree. They get Ruben already, so that's one sniper down. Lukey goes very low, but Storm is the one that's going to fall, and Harmony as well. They're doing a better job of attacking this. They don't want to go with the Summer anymore. They have the Diva. They have the, like you said, they have the McCree as well. Lukey does fall in a little bit of an odd position. Don't know what he was going for, but they've held on for this defense so far now.
No, and they're turning this into a very solid defense now, especially with the cart continuing to roll back. They've forced, a little bit of time off the clock here for Unchained, as they are trying to make their approach over on this high ground, using the Orisa to give their snipers some opportunities to find those picks. Not coming in just yet, though.
Not coming in just yet, but Storm is definitely going to be ready for that. Oh, he's just jumped by a Luke, just taken out by the Winston. That's not what you want to see happen from your Widowmaker. Harmony might go for a res, but it's going to be zoned out by the Dragon. Doesn't get quite cancelled by the Boop. But Koa 3K does get the kill in Harmony. Doesn't really matter though. They are trading out. So Geo and Lukey have gone down, but so has Storm twice now. He's not going to be able to get rest. And Koa 3K is now going on the rampage. Says, you know what? Storm might be good with hit scan. I might just be better. IG Nasty tries, but it's still Koa 3K. Still Kiwi also gets the kill. They're trading out here, and it's just the Roadhog, and a Roadhog alone, while he is a one-man apocalypse, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to close this one out. So IG Nasty trying to run away. I think he might even get staggered a little bit here. Yeah, he will.
He's going to get hunted down by Vampiro, which means that this next attack is going to be the last for Unchained Truancy. Starting off quite well on Dorado, have since ground to a halt, and now having to make a few swaps and not going to have any ultimates to go into this final fight.
Yeah, Storm does get the kill on the Steel Kibi once again. Has really been able to find that head consistently. Once again gets jumped, but Lukey just gets duped by the grapple of Storm, and Storm now being able to take shots at Geo. Geo under pressure, Lukey down, Koa 3K down, no more hit scan power from him, and they're hiding a little bit. They want to use these ultimates consistently. That's a nice self-destruct, gets IG Nasty, no more Lucio on the cart. Didn't have an ult ready, but that would have been nice. Ruben goes very low, but gets healed back up after the Antinate ends. And it looks like they're just going to try and brawl out on the cart. Who's going to come out on top here? Go 3K gets to kill the Storm with that Deadeye. And it's going to be a nice engine once again from Geo. Geo definitely hitting a few good ones of those. And that might just be enough to clean this one up. Full Send is just able to get back on top of it and just gets the defense before point B.
What a defensive effort from Full Send there. Really responding to what Unchained Truancy brought to the table. The swap from Koa over to the McCree is really impactful there towards the end of this map. He is able to put enough pressure onto 19, forces the swap away from the Pharah eventually, and really kind of shuts down Unchained Truancy there.
Yeah, and Unchained Truancy, they had a very good run, right? Like, they had so much momentum, but at some point they were just stopped, and then you got to get back in, and they just couldn't get there. They just couldn't get the same value they could before.
Oh, and they were running that Orisa comp for most of the time here on Dorado, and that's something that it's just hard to fight your way back in once you have lost ground. It's not a comp that is really designed to be able to push aggressively. It's much better in a defensive scenario, and they were trying to force it, and it absolutely can work when you have those 3 DPS and they're popping off. It definitely can be a powerful composition, but they weren't quite getting enough out of their DPS. At times it really seemed like Storm was the only one able to find those picks.
Yeah, Storm and 19 opening up a lot of that up. Ruben did get a few kills on the Hanzo, but it didn't really show up in the kill feed all that much. Now we're going to be able to see what they do on their defense, though. Setting up with a solo tank Orisa, but that can sometimes be enough. On the attackers, though, no Widowmaker. They're going to stick with the Hanzo and the Pharah, a double projectile to maybe break their shields.
Certainly should be able to put a lot of pressure, especially with Vampiro on the Roadhog as well. It looks like they might be going back for a few swaps, though, before rolling out here, eventually with a double sniper look of their own.
Double sniper will eventually be the name of the game here. No snipers on the defense, so they definitely have the range advantage, but 19 is going to be able to do a lot of free poke through those chokes without being taken advantage of angle-wise. They're going to try and take Ruben out because he's just roaming in the backline here. But Koa 3K gets the pick on the Storm and on Harmony. You thought Storm was bad. Koa 3K is even worse when it comes to being to defending against him. And 19 has a good angle, but he has no one to heal him. He's out in no man's land, and they've spotted him. They know where he is. They're going to go in further, and they're just going to clean this Orisa and Pharah up. Koa 3K even gets those kills. I don't know how the Widow got them all out of all of those people there, but Koa 3K showing up, and we're definitely making a case for MVP. If you haven't decided yet, that's good, because Koa 3K is online, guys.
Yeah, he is doing his best to earn your vote right now. He's been doing it all night on the Tracer, on Oasis was fantastic. The McCree on their defense last round, and now popping off on the Widowmaker as well, opening things up, but bites off a bit more than he could chew there.
Just a little bit, a tiny little bit more, but who knows? Maybe they can definitely pull that back out, and they can have a similar defense as we just saw, maybe even better. Of course, 4 minutes 40 to almost get to point B, but Storm already down to Shadow Jr. Yes, they get the res up, and the EMP is nice, but will they get the follow-up? It does look like it. Luki down still, Kiwi and Geo. Yeah, they're going to clean this up real nice, and they immediately break the momentum. They're not going to make the same, I wouldn't say mistake, but they're not going to have the same thing happen to them as just happened to Full Send, where so they don't want the same thing to occur on their side.
Yeah, for sure. They are trying their best to make a stand here on the defense. They too are now on to the double sniper, but Koa back over to the McCree here for point B once again. Although maybe headed back to spawn to make yet another swap. So still undecided, back to the Widow.
Koa 3K and the Widow was really showing up, so definitely understand staying on that. Shadow Jr. is the first one to fall to Storm, though. And they're going to try to do something with this Hog. This Vampiro has just been walking with the Orisa to do a lot of damage. He seems still doing a lot of damage to that Wrecking Ball as well. But Economy is just rolling around at the speed of sound, able to do so much, almost as those mines ready. There's the Dragon, though, from Shadow Jr., does get a lot of value out of that, but Ruben manages to translocate away from that Rotokook. Koa 3K wins the Widow duel. That's the one they wanted to get, because that means they have more space to work with. But that Mercy just keeps rezzing up Storm, and that means that Economy can just go in, get the Mind Slams, and they're just going to clean up this attack once again. They're going to have to try again, and Full Send back to spawn.
Yeah, and right now, Unchained just keeping control of the high ground incredibly well so far. Yes, they lose Storm, but they are able to get the res off. 19 really putting in work on this Hanzo, laying in a ton of damage. These angles so hard to block out for the attackers, so hard in fact that they're gonna forgo the Orisa entirely, going over to a dive, or at least in terms of the tanks. They need to put some pressure on these snipers.
They really do, and Storm is just once again winning the duel against Koa 3K, and now they've got to even win the duel, but win it twice. Ruben does go down though, so does Luki. It's a little bit of a trade, but you need to start winning more. You need to trade more than 1-for-1, guys. You need to start getting these kills, and they're not looking to do so just yet. There's the infra sight coming out from Koa 3K. Definitely got that. The sleep out of the Storm is there, meaning that he can get finished off, and now they can actually block out the res. Harmony not being able to get that one off, almost goes down actually. Economy, Shadow Jr. popping off now on the Hanzo, definitely coming in, and Koa 3K gets the kill on the Harmony. Looks like Economy is going to be the last one left, and that's going to be a fight win. But they still have 2 minutes. They still have to go all the way there. Ruben has the EMP ready. They could definitely stop them once, but can they stop them for another minute 45 here? That's the question for Unchained.
Yeah, that will definitely be the question. First things first, though, they've got to get the re-engage onto the cart to stop it from happening. The Dragon's going to delay that a little bit, but they'll have plenty of time to get back out here.
100% nice EMP. Storm gets the melee kill into Koa 3K as a follow-up. They get the res out, and only Luki has died, so there's still plenty of room to fight here, but it does look like they want to take it a little bit slow. Don't want to go in without that Winston. Nice Mind Slam there from Economy. Doesn't get any immediate follow-up kill with that, but with losing Vampiro as well, they're looking a little bit stationary here because of those mines, so they're going to be able to get out. Only Geo might die here. Everyone else getting out, though. That's quite impressive, considering the positions those mines are in.
That's definitely true. They were caught between a rock and an explodey place there. They do manage to wriggle their way free, but don't win the fight. And now we're approaching final fight territory. 45 seconds remaining. Not a lot of room for error here if you are full send.
Not a lot of room for error, but there doesn't need to. There's not a lot of time to get errors in as well. Although Koa 3K getting 19 is a good opening. A big self-destruct to buy even more space from Luki to go further forward. It's only Economy trying to do something in the backline. The res does come out on 19 though. Koa 3K and Storm, the Widows battling out. It's going to be 19 and Ruben actually getting the kills done, even though 19 falls. That's going to be a good start. Koa 3K following as well. And it looks like they might hold on here in Unchained Truancy, because with 10 seconds left, there's not enough members left from full send to really do anything. That Primal Rage might stall out for a little bit, but when you're hacked, you're gonna burn very quickly. And Shadow Jr. solo on the Doomfist will just get taken down by Storm. Looks like Unchained has done it. Looks like they're gonna defend here, and they're gonna go up 2-0 in the series.
Yeah, it was an unlikely hold here on Dorado, but they really buckled down here on the Streets phase. You know, they turned the tables on full send. You know, we thought it was, you know, a pretty good situation for full send after getting that hold, but Unchained Truancy able to turn that one around and really put on a great showing there on the defense of Dorado B. The snipers on both sides really having a field day on the second map.
Yeah, you gotta be happy about that on both sides. And Storm eventually came out a little bit on top, obviously, but Koa 3K, I mean, 62% of his team's kill participation. That's just a very nice stat to see. He did a lot of work there, and 28 kills, you know, playing mostly hit scan. That's nicely done.
Absolutely. So now, you know, Unchained Truancy find themselves up 2-0 in this series, on the verge of sending full send home, knocking them out of this tournament. Their last chance is going to be coming up. They will, of course, have the map pick once again soon as we get the ban in from Unchained Truancy.
We will get the ban in soon. Let's see what it's going to be. Of course, the last ban is still still in force, so Lijiang can still not be picked. But let's see what Unchained Truancy is going to ban this time around. Is it going to be an assault map, another control map?
Eichenwald. Looks like
it could be Eichenwald. I mean, they could also say they don't want to go to a German place, and that can mean different things. You know, like there's also like a possibility of saying, you know, that was occupied by Germany at some point, so we don't want to go there. I think they mean Eichenwald, so let's just stick with that. And full send is gonna select the next one.
Yeah, you know, don't want to go anywhere near Paris either. You know, it was once German territory, so we can't be going there. But no, Eichenwald gonna be the ban. Full send now get the opportunity to decide where they want to make their last stand.
Yeah, I mean, it could not be their last stand, but it's their potential last stand. Let's see what they want to do. It's obviously not going to be Eichenwald. It's not going to be Lijiang, but it could be any of the escort assault. No, not actually any of the hybrid assault or control maps that's left in the pool. So we could still go to Ilios, still go to Hanamura, Horizon maybe. Obviously just Numbani that might work out for them. It's a very different match than we just saw. These teams are really doing something different than what we see a lot of what we, for instance, coming out from Overwatch League, what we even saw coming out from last match, where there was a lot of heavy, a lot of Reinhardt, a lot of 3-3, 3-2-1, things like that. We see them just do a lot with Orisa and just a lot of DPS mostly. I think that's the main thing that we're seeing, is that both of these teams really want to put their DPS on the front line a lot.
Certainly, they are trying to, you know, let their individual stars kind of pop off and really be the carries that they can be, especially when you can put them on those snipers. You know, the Widowmakers for both teams really having massive impact there on Dorado. Storm was a menace from start to finish. Koa a little bit, you know, fell off a little bit after point A there on Dorado, at least on the attack, but the defense, you know, running that McCree for point B was fantastic. But it looks like we're headed to Junkertown where snipers once again gonna be a huge factor.
Yeah, Junkertown is one of those maps where even at the highest level of play, you'll still often see snipers at least try to be run. With Goats's high point, it wasn't as strong, but right now I do definitely see both of these teams going for that. The question is, are there going to be bastions or something like that? I'm definitely banking on Orissas, but bastions are always a question mark because not every team likes to use them as much.
Certainly, I mean, and it's a very popular and can be a very effective strategy here on Junkertown, but the snipers can make things a little bit difficult from the perspective of someone trying to run the pirate ship. If you can get those angles, multiple angles, that Orisa shield becomes hard to really use effectively, especially as the payload makes its way through the map. So we'll just have to see exactly how these teams want to go about it. Like you said, I think we'll definitely see a lot of the Orisa, the wrecking ball that we've seen quite a bit of so far, a little bit less viable here on Junkertown. So wide open, especially or at least on point A, that you really have a hard time getting a lot of value out of that pick.
Yeah, it can potentially be hard, but teams, I've always been a firm believer is that if you practice something enough, it can work. And especially things that you think might not work also means that you're not prepared for certain things like that. So you don't practice against it. And that's why certain compositions can really work out. That's why you see sometimes teams being completely taken aback by those symmetric teleport strats on assault maps or other maps where they're not ready to be set up or react to you teleporting somewhere. And if you execute that quickly and properly, you could just win because of that. Because your set play is just better and they weren't ready for it. So I wouldn't say anything can work, but I think a lot of the things can work. If you execute it properly, if you practice it enough, and if the other team is not, as ready for it as you are, that's always a fun thing.
And speaking of things that someone might not be ready for, the Doomfist on Junkertown. I don't think most teams are expecting that one, but 19 gonna break it out there. I mean, we saw this on Oasis, and he put it to great use. So we'll see if he can make it work here on Junkertown. Not as many closed spaces to work with. Not going to be quite as easy this time around. I don't.
They want to try to hold them in the spawn. They immediately get the hold on the steel kiwi. Maybe a little bit of ignorance just walking in front of that door. They get the Koa 3K as well. They're gonna try to follow up with a few stagger kills, but looks like everyone else is gonna get out alive. As I say that though, I see Shadow Jr. trying to run for his life. He's able to duke them out a little bit though, so they might be able to catch them on their rotation towards trying to get him, and he is still alive. He's actually getting out alive. Just completely dukes them. Shadow Jr. on the parkour of Overwatch, definitely getting that one down. There is a parkour map for this map, but that's only Genji, so if you want to do it with Hanzo, maybe try that out one time.
Yeah, I believe Shadow Jr. could make it work right now. After what we just saw, he's still on the flank.
Harmony. And there's no Mercy this time. Harmony is normally that Mercy player. He just gets taken out. Shadow Jr. finally gets traded by 19, but both him and Economy also falling means that this is finally going to get the cart moving. Ruben gets a 2K there. That's a lot of damage from his Sombra. And while him and the May are still alive, I don't think they're going to be able to do much to stall this card out. It's going to be Storm staggered on the May. Has the Blizzard ready, but that will be a while before they can use that.
Yeah, they'll have to wait to regroup and get back in here for a final fight to decide the fate of Point A on Junkertown. That's the luxury of pushing as far forward as they did. They have time to fully regroup, get set up, get Ruben in position to perhaps hit a huge EMP. Does get decloaked though.
Yeah, Ruben immediately just falls. EMP was ready, but it's, like I said, not going to be used. There's the Blizzard though. I think everyone's making it out alive because they were at the right edge. They're split up a little bit, but IG Nasty and 19 going down to Shadow Jr. That's just not going to be getting the Blizzard any use, and it's going to be Storm having to switch off this May potentially, even though the space is going to get a little bit closer, so it might actually pay off more.
Certainly it'll be interesting. No, they're going to get off of it. Back over to the hit scan for Storm, which I like as a swap there. He's been popping off on those heroes so far tonight. So get him back on what he's been doing best, and really, get a solid recontest here. You've got the tools to do it with this EMP ready to go.
EMP is definitely still on the market, but it needs to just not be decloaked and killed straight away once again. Is it a little bit of a safe spot, so that will probably not happen. But jumping down here, yes, gets the EMP off. 2 heroes not being hit, and the Diva Bomb actually just denying all the follow-up because they hit for it. Vampiro was in the right position, and now they can push forward. There's the High Noon. No shield online right now, and the economy gets taken down as a result. So no shield, no main tank, and also no supercharger. So numbers advantage 100% in the favor here of Unchained. No, actually, a full send. I'm sorry, wrong 10. Yes, Harmony gets taken down by Luki as well. 19 is on the flank. Will just get chased down by Vampiro. They're gonna get this point in. It's just a question of when, not if. Even though I say that, Luki and Koak get taken down, and while still Kiwi gets the rest of the Luki is completely pulled back with 19 and Storm just popping off there. That was a turn of events.
Yeah, that they turned that on its head immediately, despite all the ultimates coming out from the side of Full Send. Unchained able to come back in on the defense and really put a halt to that pretty quickly. They've regained control of the cart, and now they've got Storm on this Ashe, a really dangerous threat.
Yeah. Ashe under a lot of pressure now. Storm going very low, but just gets healed up. He's in a little bit of a safe spot. The Dynamite getting a lot of work done here. Vampiro tries to block that out a little bit. They get so much damage. Just gets demeched, and meanwhile, you just have Ruben shooting your back on that Sombra as well. This triple DPS setup is working so well here for Unchained. They're throwing out the Dragon. Get one. Koa 3K also going down. Economy is just a menace on this ball, just controlling everyone in the sky and it's on the ground, just nowhere where they go. This controls them up, and then 19 finishes them off.
Yeah. Right now, Economy doing a really good job of playing around, his DPS, setting them up with these slams. That time, use it to make sure that Dragon gets a lot of value. No way for Full Send to retreat once the Dragon Strike comes in. They have to fight on the cart, and they don't really have the positioning to do it.
Yeah. And just, I don't know, like they're gonna have to really try and find a different way of approaching this, because with only a Dragon and a Deadeye, there's not much they can do. Vampiro is close to the self-destruct that might net something, but it's only been buying space of late. 19 goes behind them, goes for the Pine flank, doesn't get still Kiwi, just only gets the body shot. But Economy got slept, but not taken out just yet. There's all the damage coming in. Economy is now finally fallen, but they just get all the kills onto Full Send. So Full Send, they did a very good job on Dorado to get this far, but they're just not managing to make it.
Yeah, they keep just getting shut down. Once their momentum seems to stop, they really are having a hard time of regaining it and getting the cart moving once again. They are a little bit at a loss right now, making some swaps with Koa going over to the Ashe to match Storm. I don't know that that's the best proposition right now, especially with the ult economy being so strong for the side of Unchained Truancy.
Gives you a little bit of range, and that's a nice self-destruct. Just gets rid of Storm immediately. The res does come in, but IG Nasty has already fallen, so that EMP is so huge, and Bob will be able to follow up that real nice. Just gets still Kiwi is already down, 19 as well. Not actually Bob getting the kills, just the Hanzo, but they're looking to trade up properly. With 10 seconds left, I don't see how they're going to be able to push this one in.
Yeah, it's really going to be on Shadow Jr. to kind of pop off here. He is
a Nano Luki though. That's gonna be a lot of work. And then Winston just on the cart, almost as a primal. Maybe he gets that up in time, and they're actually able to stall out a little bit more. There it is. They're gonna be able to get the numbers back in. 19's now back on the Doomfist. Didn't want to stick with the Hanzo anymore. Storm gets corralled away, but it's just not dying because of all that healing from the Mercy. And it looks like even though there was a chance to maybe come back in, they're just not getting the kill. So it looks like Unchained Truancy is gonna hold on here once again, close to point B on an escort map. It's where we see it.
Yeah, that is a fantastic hold on Jokertown. We don't see these point B holds very often. Where we saw the payload stopping on Dorado, that happens all the time. That's an everyday occurrence in Overwatch. this is not an easy place to really make your stands. Teams usually get through point B if they get through A with the time bank that Full Send had. And, it's now going to be a tall task for Full Send to get the hold here and to keep themselves alive in this tournament.
They can do it. I think they definitely have the stuff to do it with. It's just we still have an experiment coming out here for Unchained Truancy on their defense. So that's why they maybe lost point A, but then point B they just regained their standing the same way they did on Dorado and just held them in front of B. So we're gonna have to see a very strong hold once again coming out here for Full Send. And last time it was the other way around. So last time Full Send was able to hold them. But then wasn't able to push as far. This time the payload hasn't actually made it all the way to point B, so it is a little bit further away. So the defense is going to have to be stronger this time around.
Certainly, they need to make their stand here and now. They are going to put Koa back on the Ashe here. Going to be at a little bit of a range disadvantage when you look over at the other side. You see Storm picking up that Widowmaker once again. Could really be the key for Unchained Truancy as they look to close out this series.
Yeah, they're gonna go out with this Rodok Orisa double sniper and the Sombra as well. So similar to what they were running on the defense on point B. Yeah, they're just gonna continue here. Storm gets the kill onto Koa 3K straight away. Yeah. Oh, Storm is just online. I don't know what to tell you, man. Like Storm is just getting kill after kill. IG Nasty just gets the hook on a Koa 3K as well. And it looks like Unchained is truly Unchained. They've broken the spirit of Full Send, and they just keep sending the full teams back to spawn every single time.
I mean, and you can't give Storm opportunities like that. That's just mispositioning from the side of Full Send there. For Lukey to be in a spot where that kill can come through is really unacceptable. They can't even get out to the cart to recontest.
Nah, they really
this
can't.
is falling apart.
I mean, they just keep dying. They just keep dying over and over.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just insane.
I mean, Storm is just on a mad one right now, and like, what are you really supposed to do in a situation like that? They're gonna throw Shadow Jr. onto the Genji, try to get up close and personal, and put some pressure on him.
There's only really one way to deal with the Widow, right? Just click the head faster, forehead. Click the forehand faster. That's an even better one. But Storm just gets going through K constantly because he had the infra sights already up. Still Kiwi is going to try to get away from that. Is actually able to just hide a little bit in that room below. But how you're ever going to get back to the team? That's how. You just fly with the Guardian Angel. Lukey is on the cart. They have so few meters to go. There's the EMP. They just get the tank out of the way. Geo as well falls. Looks like this is not going to be a long one, guys. I think this is going to be over pretty soon. Trio coming in here from Unchained Truancy. And, well, they really showed up tonight. All I can say. They trying. Going through case trying. Still Kiwi as well. But Vampiro and Lukey, two tanks, they're not going to be able to get any kills. Even that whole hog will not be able to get off. Hook on Still Kiwi. And that is, yeah, that's going to be it. That's going to conclude the match here. 3-0 for Unchained Truancy. And, wow, that was something.
They looked phenomenal there on Junkertown. Really dialed in as this series progressed. You know, getting, in my mind, really kind of getting better and better and better as it went along, and really, you know, letting their DPS players shine and, you know, have their moment here tonight. The style that they're playing lends itself to those kind of results, and it really came through for them.
It really did, and honestly, you can be happy with a performance like that, right? Like you definitely show that you got stronger and stronger through the series, and yeah, that's something that is it's always good to see. If you still haven't, quickly vote for your MVPs, because you know if you haven't yet, you will regret it if you don't. At least I always do when I miss it. And yeah, if you have some other time, you know, just click on the follow button, click on the like button, click on anything you can really find that has anything to do with us. If you're on DLive, quickly up over to Twitch, click on the MVP poll. And if you're really a champ and you really don't want to wait for the interview, just already hop over to omnicoach.gg because they still have a lot of good stuff for you to check out. We do now, before we actually gonna announce anything regarding to the MVP or whatever, gonna have an interview here once again, and it looks like it's gonna be Sober. Welcome to the chat.
Hello. I know my name is Seven Sober in Discord, but that was for a meme.
Yes. So you are, in fact, Switch player?
Economy.
Okay, well,
There we go.
congratulations.
Thank you. I'd like to say Full Send's a great team. I know they play really well, but I do know how they play, and I put a lot of thought into like how to set up our comps to beat them. Bear in mind, we did have 3 people who did not know this was happening until yesterday. So we came into this wanting to put on a show. We had a lot of our thoughts were, we're definitely not slated to really take this. So at the very least, we're just gonna make it entertaining for the stream. Like the Reaper and the fucking we did what we could with our hero pool is basically what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Well, you mission accomplished.
Yeah, as it turned out, we were all playing really well. We know that Ko is fucking crazy on Widow, so we were really diligent with scouting him out and all that.
The main question I had is obviously you're kind of answered already because you said you know how they play. Mm-hmm. Do you think your team is particularly well suited to deal with the way that Full Send plays, like as naturally already, or is it something that you really had to adapt to in a way?
I have no idea, quite frankly. I am very familiar with how one particular player on my team plays, and that is 19. Aside from that, this is a pretty fresh roster. Like at most a week together, I'd say. Me and Nasty. We have very similar ideas as to like running like unorthodox comps and how they're supposed to work. Like I've been playing Orisa into goats for like hundreds of years. I'm very well suited for that. Same with Ball. And Nasty came to me and knew that both of us had similar ideas as to how to approach the game. And we made a pretty solid roster out of this. I'm pleased with tonight's results. It was pretty great.
I mean, you won, and it looked like it was working. So yeah. Not much to learn from this, right? Because you learn more from losses usually, or do you think there's something you could definitely see from this that you say, okay, that's something we 100% need to work on straight away?
We definitely know that Sombra gives a lot of valuable information, no matter what you're doing. Mm-hmm. That is the thing we can take away from this. We definitely learned a lot from our loss against Citizens. That was pretty sobering. I went into this with a lot of confidence, and losing to Citizens definitely made me come at this with a bit more restraint. And we definitely took this a lot smarter, but still made sure to have fun with what we were doing,
Okay. It's good to hear. Good to hear you're enjoying yourself at least. That's always the very least we want to get you out. Want you to get out of this.
I'm at heart a big fucking clown, so I.
Yeah, I definitely understand that happening. Well, of course you're gonna be moving on into the next phase. You'll be playing against the loser of Game 9, which is gonna happen tomorrow. So it'll be either Triumph Academy or Magna Terra. Is like do you know the players on both of these teams or either of these teams? Do you have like a preference of who you would want to face off against?
I want to face off against Magna Terra for sure. I've scrimmed them a couple times in the past, and I'm pretty sure that I can just play Ball and beat the shit out of them.
Okay.
I think they have problems with that, but aside from that, I don't really know too much about the teams.
Yeah, I like the confidence.
Yeah, I'm hoping Magna Terra is our next mate.
Yeah, well,
But,
we'll see after tomorrow. I guess you'll definitely
yeah.
be checking out that match just to see
Mhm.
what you're up against.
Yep.
But yeah, for now, if there's any shout outs you want to do, we're going to give you the floor. So go ahead with that one.
I'd like to give a shout out to, like my mom and dad. They raised me. It's pretty cool. Caustic's put together the whole Unchained Truancy. He's sort of managing it, and he's our parental guardian for this, making sure that we know when we are playing and like keeps our VODs together, and made this very minimally prepared team, as prepared as they could have been. I'd like to thank 19 and Storm for coming in on such short notice and absolutely fucking crushing it. And I'd like to thank Star for having us on. It's nice to have this opportunity.
Yeah, well, we're happy to give it to
Also,
you. So, yeah.
Twitch.tv/economy_OW.
See, that's the one we were waiting for.
Yeah,
There we go.
yeah.
That's what it's all
So many
about.
people, you're
I have to
not
get the
gonna
money.
believe you're not
Gotta
gonna
get the
believe
money.
how many people forget to actually shout out their own like social media or Twitch or whatever. Like no one actually
Yeah.
ever does it. So good on you for doing that. I mean, again, I gotta congratulate you on the win. Unfortunately, IG Nasty took away the MVP vote, so that's the one you're not gonna get tonight.
All right, he deserves that. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe next time. Maybe you'll get some more subs on your Twitch channel, so they can actually come over here and vote for you next time. That might be good. For now, though, that's gonna be it for us tonight. So I'm happy that I would say that we had some good games tonight. Looking forward to the next one already. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about you, Shy Guy.
No, I can't wait to see what especially Unchained Truancy has in store for us for the rest of the tournament. I thought this was a really impressive showing here tonight. They were firing on all cylinders individually. Everybody was popping off. Their coordination was really on point, and I think they're a team that could really make some noise in the lower bracket.
Yeah, so once again, this has been Man of Class with the Star Esports Overwatch All-Star Brawl. You can reach me on Twitter, Man of Class OW. It's not that hard to find. And Shy Guy, I believe you're available sometimes as well.
Yes, at Shy Guy OW. So pretty straightforward for both of us there.
All right, we got that
keep it
going.
simple.
So yeah, so for now, this is going to be us. If you want to check us out more, obviously follow Star Esports on their social media. Should be the panels underneath your viewing station. And yeah, we'll hope to see you in the next one. In the meantime, while we're not here, you can always go and check out and improve yourself through omnicoach.gg. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Have a good night.